Welcome back to It's Just Queen Bee's Thoughts. I'm your host, Queen Bee, and today we're diving into a powerful yet challenging part of the recovery journey, self-reflection. In previous episodes, we've talked about forgiveness, relapse, and self-compassion. But today, we're getting to the core of addiction. We're going to explore how digging deep and reflecting on ourselves can uncover the root causes behind our struggles and why understanding these roots is key to lasting healing. Self-reflection can feel intimidating, especially if you've been through trauma, pain, or addiction. When I started my recovery journey, I was afraid to look inward because I didn't want to face the things that led me to use. Self-reflection isn't about finding fault or beating yourself up. It's about understanding yourself better with compassion and honesty. When we start to see our struggles not as personal feelings, but as reactions to experiences, emotions, or environments, it opens up the possibility of real transformative change. One of the first steps in self-reflection is identifying your personal triggers and patterns. This can mean looking at what emotions, situations, or people tend to lead you toward unhealthy behaviors. For me, certain situations and feelings would set me on edge, pushing me toward using as a form of escape. Through self-reflection, I started to recognize these patterns, and by understanding them, I could start to break the cycle. Take some time to journal, or just think about the times when you felt most vulnerable to using or falling back into old habits. What was happening around you? What were you feeling? These questions can help you spot patterns, and from there, you can make a plan to respond differently in the future. Beyond identifying triggers, it's important to dig deeper and understand the underlying root causes of addiction. Often, addiction is a way of coping with unresolved pain, whether it's from trauma, feelings of inadequacy, or loneliness. For me, I found that I was trying to fill a void or numb certain emotions. When I started to face these emotions head on, I began to understand why I was using in the first place. This is where therapy, support groups, and journaling can be incredibly helpful. Sometimes we need a safe space and guidance to dive into our past and to make sense of it all. It's not easy, and there are days when it feels too overwhelming. But the more we understand our roots, the stronger our foundation for recovery becomes. Self-reflection doesn't just bring clarity, it empowers us. The more we understand our minds and our behaviors, the more control we gain over them. Instead of feeling like I was at the mercy of my addiction, I started to see my triggers and patterns as things I could work through. Self-reflection became a way of regaining power over my life and moving forward with purpose. Self-reflection is also a way of reconnecting with your true self. Over time, addiction can make us feel like we've lost who we are. But through honest reflection, we remember what we value, what brings us peace, and what we truly want from life. It can even help us find new passions and strengths we didn't know we had. So, how can you start on this journey of self-reflection? It doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. Start small. Try setting aside 5 or 10 minutes each day to journal, meditate, or just sit in silence and think. Ask yourself questions like, what am I feeling today? What events from my past still affect me? What do I want for my future? Be honest with yourself, but also be gentle. If writing isn't your thing, try voice memos or just talking with a trusted friend or counselor. Sometimes saying our thoughts out loud can bring a new level of understanding. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to reflect on yourself. It's a journey, not a destination. As you gain new insights through self-reflection, take note of the small shifts in your thinking or behavior. Maybe you notice yourself being more patient, or you're able to pause before reacting to a trigger. These small changes are signs of growth, and they're just as valuable as the big milestones. Self-reflection isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Through this process, you're not just healing from addiction. You're learning to be your own best support, your own guide. And that's something to be proud of. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools we have on this journey. It takes courage, patience, and self-compassion, but it's worth it. Every layer you peel back, every new understanding you gain, brings you closer to lasting recovery and a deeper connection to yourself. If today's episode resonated with you, I encourage you to start small. Take a few minutes tonight to check in with yourself. Remember, this journey isn't about fixing yourself. It's about understanding and embracing who you are, fully and honestly. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you next time. And until then, keep going and keep growing.
You're listening to Lucidic Queen Bee music.
Did I mess this up once more? All my thoughts washed up on the shore. I found them hiding on the ocean floor. I just returned from a grand tour. No, I'm mistaken, you were there. It's no surprise, 'cause you're everywhere. This time you adjusted my eyes, electrified my insides, bringing me back to life despite my trying times and my desperate cries. It's not your fault you run and hide. My brightness tends to blind. An electric charge to my system, resetting my heart's rhythm, giving me air to breathe and eyes to see, bringing me back to life despite my trying times and my desperate cries. It's not your fault you run and hide. My brightness tends to blind. Take small steps and come really close. I don't mind the way, I like it slow. Still giving me real change with a smile on my face. Crossing to the other side. Breathe the new life. You never question my sanity. Embrace my true identity. Patiently waiting for my melody to break these false beliefs. I don't care what others may think. They've never truly lived. I won't sink. I'll listen to my heart, take that stride, moving forward with you by my side, bringing me back to life despite my trying times and desperate cries. It's not your fault you run and hide. My brightness tends to blind. Take small steps and come real close.